On the Citadel,
I don't want to go.
Nick said stubbornly.
Why can't I stay here?
David Anderson did not have any children of his own, and had the matter had been left to him, the ex-Navy officer would have ordered the teenager out of the apartment with possible unpleasant results. Fortunately, the woman he loved knew how to deal with such situations. Kaylee was in good shape for a woman in her 40s, or 30s for that matter. As she smiled, tiny creases appeared around her eyes.
Grayson invaded Grissom Academy. It's important to make sure that nothing like that ever.
Nick had been shot in the stomach during the attack and sent to the Citadel for advanced medical treatment, so he knew about Grayson firsthand. Nick, with shoulder-length black hair and a relatively small frame for a boy his age, looked hopeful.
Sure,
Kaylee replied.
but only for an hour. Come on, let's go.
Crisis had been averted and Anderson was grateful. As they left the apartment, the door locked behind them. An elevator took them down to the first floor and out of the hectic crush of the lower wards. A monorail loomed overhead. The pedways were crowded with individuals of every species. The street was jammed with ground vehicles, all of which was normal for the huge star-shaped space station served as the cultural, financial and political hub of the galaxy. Anderson had been an admiral and an alliance representative to the Citadel Council, so he had spent a lot of time aboard the Habitat. Everything was organised around a central ring. It was 10 kilometres across, and the Citadel's 40-kilometre long fingers pointed it from the stars beyond. The total population of the station was said to be in excess of 13 million citizens, none of whom had played a role in creating the complex structure. As Anderson led the others aboard a public shuttle, he was reminded of the fact that Reapers had created the Citadel as a bait for a high-tech trap, one that had sprung so successfully that now, 2 years later, some of the damage of the sentient machines had caused was still being repaired. The vehicle came to life as Anderson settled himself behind the controls. The contragravity speeder was powered by a Mass Effect field who would carry them from the lower wards to the vicinity of the Presidium, where the council's offices were located. Kaylee was sitting next to him and Nick was in the back fiddling with his Omnitool, the device constructed of an orange hologram that was superimposed over the teenager's right arm. It could be used for hacking computers, repairing electronic devices and playing games, and that's what Nick was doing as Anderson guided the shuttle through a maze of streets, under graceful pedways and into the flow of traffic that ran like a river between a pair of high-rise cliffs. 10 minutes later, the shuttle pulled up to a rapid transit platform where they disembarked. As Anderson, Kaylee and Nick walked towards a bank of elevators, they passed a pair of beautiful Asari. The species were asexual, but to Anderson's eye they looked like human females. Even if their blue skin had a bluish tint rather than hair, waves of sculpted skin could be seen on the backs of their heads, and where they were very shapely.
You can put your eyeballs back in your head now.
Kaylee commented as they entered the elevator.
No wonder the Asari get along without men. Maybe I could too.
Anderson grinned.
Just looking, that's all. I'm partial to blondes.
Kaylee made a face as the elevator started upwards, and the Solarian standing in front of them lost his briefcase. It had been tucked under his arm but suddenly slipped out of and landed on the floor like all of his kind. The Solarian's head was narrow and crowned with two horn-like appendages. As he bent to retrieve the object, it scooted away from him.
Nick,
Kaylee said crossly.
stop that. Give him the case and apologise.
The teen looked as he might object, saw the expression on Kaylee's face, and apparently thought better of it. Having removed the folder from the floor, he gave it back to its owner and mumbled.
Sorry.
The Solarian had seen biotic pranks before and wasn't amused. You have a talent, he snapped. Use it wisely. Nick was one of the rare individuals who could manipulate the gravity-like force found in all of the otherwise empty spaces in the universe. The boy had been working to refine his biotic skills of late, and the subtle combination of energies required to dislodge the briefcase. Then it moved around was quite impressive. It was also annoying and made Anderson frown. Fortunately for Nick, Kaylee was more patient, maybe too patient.